Pleased to be joined by one of the Vees' newest recruits for the 2021-22 season. It is Luke Vardy. And Luke, first off, thanks for joining us today. And how's life going out in Ontario? I know you're playing for St. Andrew's College. Obviously, things are a little bit different than what they normally are, but how are things going for you out there right now?
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I appreciate it. It's definitely some tough times, all around the world right now. But St. Andrews has done a really good job, having us in school coming up this next week. So really excited about that. And then the hockey's been great. We've been on the ice a lot, and the development's been amazing. So nothing to complain about on this side.
I wanted to ask you about your decision to choose Penticton. Obviously, a team that has been one of the powerhouses of not just the BC Hockey League, but in junior hockey in general over the last decade or so. What went into your decision making to try and find a junior team and try to find a spot to land on next year, and what made Penticton a viable spot for you?
Yeah, for sure. I had a great conversation with the coaching staff here at Penticton, and they had some great things to tell me about, and I thought the development was a huge thing for me, and that's what they offered. So I'm really excited, and like I said, yeah, just the development and the reputation and everything about Penticton fit with me. So I'm really happy with my decision, and can't wait for next year.
Next year seems like a long ways away, but it'll come up pretty quickly here. And I wanted to ask you about a couple of guys that are on the team this year. I know you've played with them before. Current Vees forward Devlin O'Brien, also former Vees defenseman Jack Barr. You had a chance to play with them last year. Did you hear from them at all when you made your decision to choose Penticton, or did they help you sway in the decision to come here?
Yeah, for sure. I was in contact with both of them, throughout the whole process, and they've been nothing but a great help for me, and helping me make my decision. And I was fortunate enough to play with Jack, along with him on the power play. So he had nothing but great things to say about Penticton, and Devlin O'Brien was amazing as well. They like I said, they had nothing but great things to say. So they made the decision definitely a bit easier.
You're a Hammonds Point, Nova Scotia kid. The Vees have had a couple of Nova Scotia guys, including Jacob Quillen this year. Do you know Jacob at all? Did you get a chance to play with him, maybe growing up in the ranks in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, I know Jacob pretty well. Throughout my whole career of hockey down in Nova Scotia, we've played against each other a few times, and we played on the same major midget team. So I know him pretty well. I know he's a really skilled player, and yeah, like I said, he's a great player.
So I wanted to ask you, obviously, do you make the decision to come out here to Penticton? Will it be your first time traveling out west to play hockey? And if so, what kind of excites you about that as being a guy that's literally coming from across the country to play out west?
Yeah, it's really exciting stuff. I was actually fortunate enough to represent Team Nova Scotia in the Canada Winter Games a few years ago. So I made it out to Red Deer, Alberta, a couple years ago. But other than that, I've never been to BC, and I'm really excited to see what the life is down there. And so yeah.
Wanted to ask you about, obviously this season is a bit of an anomaly just given the fact of everything that's going on, but the 2019-20 season for yourself and St. Andrews, you were able to put up 27 points in 48 games with the team. What kind of a role do you fill, and what kind of a player do you see yourself as, just to kind of give some Bees fans some insight on what they can be expecting when they see you play next season?
Yeah, I like to think of myself as, a two-way guy. I'm a physical guy. I'm kind of known as a bit of a throwback player, so I'll lay the hit when it needs to be taken. But I make a good first pass out of the zone, and I think my shot from the point is something that can be used as well. And I'm excited to display it next year.
I wanted to ask you as well, is there anybody from, the National Hockey League that you kind of try to model your game after, guys that you find yourself watching a little bit more than others?
Yeah, growing up, I've always liked Kevin Bieksa, but Vancouver is my team, so I like Kevin Bieksa when he went through the league, and I've kind of moved on to more of an offensive guy. I try and learn every day, and seeing Quinn Hughes out there is it's pretty cool.
I wanted to ask as well. I noticed you're a multi-sport guy. I know a lot of guys for hockey they play golf and find themselves playing golf in the summer, but you're a football guy too, and that interests me. Is there, something that what kind of strikes you about football that you enjoyed growing up? Obviously now it'll be tough to fit both in. I think obviously you made a decision to go through and play hockey, but what about football did you like growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too big of a football player growing up. I actually came to St. Andrews and I was talking to the coach and my buddy on the team who also plays football, and they heard about my physicality, so they thought it'd be a great idea to go try out football. So I had a blast last year. I learned lots, and that's something that they preach at St. Andrews is being a multi-sport athlete. So it was an awesome time last year, and I learned lots. So I'm glad I can say I've played football now.
What are some aspects that you find when you play football that can kind of contribute to hockey as well? You mentioned the physical aspect. Obviously, football is a hard hitting game, but do you find any aspects from, being a multi sport guy that you can kind of contribute back to hockey?
Yeah, I mean, making quick decisions I think is huge in both sports, and foot speed as well. I think I've developed my foot speed a lot, and I think it's translated into my hockey game as well. So yeah, there was a few things like you said, physicality, foot speed, and quick decision making. I think helped me not only for football but for hockey as well.
Obviously, St. Andrews is a program that's pretty esteemed throughout the country. A team, they're always good teams, and the development program. You see players go on into bigger and better things once they leave the program. And I know you have been there. This would have been your second season. This is your second year there. What have you learned from St. Andrews, and that you can kind of take and come here to junior hockey with in Penticton?
Yeah, I mean, St. Andrews has been nothing but a blessing for me. I came here with high expectations for myself of being a good student in the classroom and as well as on the ice, and I think being a leader is what helped me the most. And yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot throughout the whole process of being at St. Andrews. Like I said, the school, hockey, and being a leader, I'd say were the top three things that I've taken away from St. Andrews so far.
One of the things, obviously, that's a big deal for players is going to a league to play with a lot of speed and with a lot of pace and also a lot of skill. And the BCHL provides that. And as a player who's making that jump from playing midget hockey now playing in Junior A, what are some of the things you're going to work on coming up here and then moving into the summer as well before you hit the ice in Penticton next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think just adapting to the game and the speed of the game and the quick decision making. I think as you move on in hockey, the game's always going to be faster and guys are going to be stronger. But I think ways to adjust to that is practicing really hard and practicing like you're playing. So the foot speed, physicality, the strength that the BCHL brings, I think I'll do pretty well. Yeah, but I'm really excited.
And one of the things, obviously, that you can look forward to next year is maybe even having some guys that you have some familiarity with stepping into the dressing room playing with. And I know, there's a lot of guys that around the league and guys that make the jump from St. Andrews to the BCHL. But, even if guys like Jacob Quillen move on or Jack Barr's moved on as well, is there going to be some familiarity stepping into the dressing room, or what are some of the things that you adapt to early on when you get here in the summer to kind of be with a new team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to meet the new guys. It's something I've been looking forward to for a long time, and I think when you move to the next level, it's always fun to meet new people and experience new things. So it's going to be interesting to play against some of my teammates this year that are playing in the BCHL, which is pretty interesting. But I'm really excited to meet the new guys next year, and I'm excited to see what the year brings.
To jump back a little bit, you mentioned that you were part of that Team Nova Scotia for the Canada Winter Games in 2018-19. What did that experience do for you, not just as a player, but then also as a person, just to kind of go there and, have that experience to play with some of the top level players in the country? It must have been a pretty exciting one for you.
Yeah, it was awesome for sure. We were playing against some good teams. We played against Quebec, Ontario, lots of good teams, and I've learned a lot. That was one of the best experiences I've had in my lifetime, I'd say. But for hockey, no, but it's been amazing. I think being a leader on that team helped me a lot too. I was named assistant captain for that team, so being able to represent Nova Scotia in such a great way, it's awesome for me, and I was really happy to lead that team.
You mentioned you wore an A for Team Nova Scotia. You were slated to wear an A this year for St. Andrews as well. You're only 17 years old, but adding that leadership, do you kind of feel like you could add some of that into junior hockey as well? Even though it'll be your first year, it'll be a rookie, but having that leadership experience to kind of back onto, do you think that you can add some of that next year as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's just a part of my game, and that's what I like to bring to the table when I join a new team. But next year being able to sit back and see what kind of leaders we have next year and learn off them, I think is going to be huge for me, and it's going to be a huge learning experience as well. So, yeah.
Lastly, for you now, I know you can look forward to the hockey in Penticton. I don't know if you've looked up the city at all or looked what it has to offer, but what's one of the biggest things that you look forward to coming into this city next year?
Yeah, I mean, I heard the people are great and the fans are amazing, so I can't wait to get out on the ice and hear you guys or hear the fans cheering and I heard it's great to be in the rink playing against some big teams with those such great fans. So I'm really excited.
Well, appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for this, Luke, and we look forward to you suiting up in a Vees jersey next year.
Awesome, thank you so much.